Hey friends, it's Dawn the Recovery Lady. That's Dawn, D-A-W-N, like the morning, like sunshine. I'll have to put like a sign in the back. Not Don or Donna or John, as someone called me. I am a behavioral health clinician here with quick recovery tips, 15 minutes or less, trying to get more into the less. That will help you getting through life recovery, because no matter what you do, how great or not great your life is, we all need some recovery. Here at the Recovery Lady, we live in the solution. We often know the problem, and we kind of start where we're at and move forward and get some action steps. And this is a safe, healthy community. Thanks for joining me. Today, we are going to talk about communication styles. I've been teasing this one for a while. I had some other things I wanted to do first as far as episodes, but now we're going to get into it. Let's go. The first communication style is passive communication. From a body language point of view, this is the person who often walks slumped over. They don't have to be all hunched, but they often will keep their shoulders kind of rounded and their heads down. If they walk into a meeting, a boardroom, a conference room, they're the ones who sit in the back and kind of, have their pen and their paper and just look up. They don't want to be called on and don't want their opinion heard. There's an insecurity where they're afraid to voice an opinion. The other characteristics, the passive communication style, they avoid their problems. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to deal with it. It's a lot of, it's okay. And there's a lot of avoidance. With that, how that can look with a passive style, that's the meek. Whatever you want to do, that's fine with me. I don't really have an opinion on that. That sounds good. Hey, I'm agreeable. I can go either way and it just doesn't matter. And it's all the time. Now, I know there's some passive communicators out there going, Dawn, no, really, I just don't care. Let other people do what they want. Doesn't matter what I want to do. That isn't true. God made you, your higher power made you wired with gifts and desires and passions, and it's part of the good thing. The healthy things are part of the good thing of being here on this earth, and they need a voice. God gave you those things to have a voice. So when you're with somebody who is saying, you're saying, where do you want to go for dinner? I don't care, you pick. In a marriage, that's especially unhealthy. A marriage is about two whole people adding and complementing and having their individuality, their individual lives, and their lives coming together. When you have a partner who's always passive, you do whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy makes me happy. Now, I'm not talking about cultural societies where that is a cultural norm. I'm just talking about good old here in everyday life in America and whatever is true to you. So, with two whole people in a relationship, the passive communication style says, my opinion doesn't matter. My worth is low. What I think and feel is irrelevant. It's giving away your power. It's giving away your self-determination and your goals. And passive communicators tend to be the ones that are letting somebody else run their life. Their friends, their partner. Oh, let's just get Jane. Jane will do anything and go anywhere. You take Jane bowling. Jane hates bowling. Jane's just like, oh, okay. When she really wants to play tennis, played it as a girl and just wants other people to be happy. There's that pleasing thing in her. It is the passive communication, the consistent passive communication is laying groundwork for others to take advantage of you forever. Hey, it's nice to have a friend that'll do whatever, whenever. But do you really know that friend if you're never seeing what they want to do? I mean, I've seen couples where it's like, no, I really want to know what you want to do. I really want to know what your desires are. And I've seen passive communicators just be so empty of themselves. They say, I don't know. I don't know what I like, because it's been pushed down so long. And as a result of it being pushed down, the passive communicator is very likely to build up anger and resentment, because all their desires and dreams, they've stuffed it down, stuffed it down, stuffed it down, and given away their worth, and they're living somebody else's life. They're the ones whose boundaries are usually plowed, and they have, like I always say, tire marks on their back. The body posture is trying to keep them small. They don't want to be seen. And their self-worth it doesn't mean that there is low, but it doesn't mean it's obviously low. They could be this beautiful person in the office that looks bright and cheerful, but communicates passively. There's a person in there wanting to get out. We don't want black and white. We're going to talk about this in cognitive distortions. Passive, we want to live in the middle, in the gray. Passive communication is one end of the communication spectrum. We never want to be all one way or the other. Healthy is in the middle, in the gray area. So that's what passive communication looks like. Often a lot of illnesses too, because it's coming out. A lot of migraines, a lot of things that they don't know why. It's because everything is suppressed. That's one end of it. The next style, number 2, communication style, is aggressive behavior. And that is, you're going to stand up for what you want regardless of other people's feelings, their thoughts, what makes them happy. You don't care if you offend the room. You're easily frustrated. When you pull up, people feel like they're walking on eggshells. It is control, often with anger and fear. People fear them. You know, I was recently watching videos of Alec Baldwin on the movie set of Rust. It's been in the news a lot, and just seeing in the videos how don't know him. I'm sure he's a wonderful human being. I have no idea, but just seeing the way he was on set on the news and in the videos with the staff, it's like a bulldozer, a plow, just plowing things. Here's what I want. Here's how I want it, and I want it now. I don't like to name names like that, but it's just such a graphic detail. They speak in a loud and overbearing voice. They want things right away. They're not willing to compromise. Well, okay, you want to do this and I want to do that. Can we meet in the middle and do it this way? No, I want this and this is how it's going to be. Why would you want to do something that stupid? You should do what I want to do. You know, this is the best for everybody. Blah, 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 blah. It's an overbearing, overpowering, controlling by fear. They're disrespectful toward other people. And there's a lot of criticism, humiliation, domineering over others. And you'll see the people around them just looking sink and shrinking small. You get an anger with a passive, and it is, I could probably write the story of what the dynamics look like in that relationship. The characteristics of an angry person, and you might be this communicator, and hey, if you are and you're recognizing it and you're saying it for the first time, good on you, good on you. Same for the passive, good on you. The first part is owning it. The aggressive behavior of the aggressive communicator is they attack people, not the problem. So say, I don't know, they walk in a room and it's too dark and it's a light bulb is burnt out or the blinds aren't open or something. The aggressive communicator will say, what's wrong with you? Why don't you open the window? Why don't you change the light bulb? Why are you sitting here in the dark? Well, the light bulb's burnt out. Well, why didn't you go, do you hear that? And get a new one. The aggressive communicator is about tearing you down, tearing others down, domineering, and communicating with control and belittling, and it leaves a trail. It leaves a trail of havoc, of wake. And you know, I've always seen the aggressive communicator as somebody who just wants their environment so controlled that instead of fixing what they need to, they try to make everything around them the way they need it to be okay. And because, like I always say, you can only control what's on this side of your palm, they can't control other people. So they go into the rage And it's a deflection because they really have low self-esteem and don't want to look at themselves. You may not think they do, but that kind of control is like that. And it's often not safe, and you always want to be safe. Safety is first: physical, emotional, sexual, financial, spiritual. You matter. You always want to be safe. They're the person who walks in the room and offends others. If you are an aggressive communicator, that kind of communication is only giving you temporary satisfaction. Maybe you won and you got somebody to go run and get you a light bulb and you feel good in the moment, but you're building up all this havoc behind you. Other people fear you and want to avoid you if you're an aggressive communicator. So it's not easy to get long-lasting friends. It's a my way or the highway type of communication. It's the other end of our passive and our aggressive. Lastly, and the place we want to be between passive and aggressive, is an assertive communicator. We are not overbearing. We are not knocking people down, condemning them and criticizing them, and we're not laying down like a doormat and letting people walk over us. We're having good self-worth and we're setting boundaries. I have some examples I want to share. Where are my examples? I brought some examples of that type of communication. Tips for being assertive. And I just want to, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a minute. To be assertive, you make eye contact. The passive communicator will often look away. The aggressive is looking through you, not at you. Making good eye contact, looking away occasionally. It's like, see me, I'm here. And here's what my need is. The body posture. It's not that, and sitting in the meeting like this. Here I am. I'm here. Look at me. And you're not sitting in the meeting like this. You're comfortable with who you are. You have your things out. You make a statement and ask questions. And your body posture. Keeping good physical contact. Keeping to be part of the group. You don't want to barge in like the aggressive and kind of have people running. And then but you don't want to be, and you don't want to be hiding in the wall, in the corner. You want to be seen and you want to hear other people. It's a balance. The extremes of anything are never going to be good for you. Your facial expressions. Don't keep a blink. The aggressive ones all red-eyed and red-faced and veins bulging. The passive is not even making expressions. And an assertive communication, you're nodding and looking and hearing other people, giving them value, but not letting them walk over you and bulldoze you like the aggressive communicator. The inflection and tone of your voice. Are you screaming like the aggressive one? Hey, I'm here and I need you to do that. That's not assertive, that's aggressive. Whereas the passive person isn't even speaking at all, or if they do, it's very small. Could I maybe have a drink of water? Now, look, I know not everybody's that extreme, but a lot of people that aren't, if you're even too close to one side, recognize this. You can get in the middle. Knowing the timing, you don't want to, aggressive people come in and here's my feeling and here it's what I want. Knowing the timing, read the room. What's going on in the room? Is somebody hurt? Is somebody distressed? Do you need to approach somebody to set a boundary? It's that awareness. Assertiveness is like, okay, this is a good time. Hey, I was thinking about the meeting we were in and, I really wasn't comfortable with the way I was called out. I would prefer that I'm given advance notice so I can prepare a response or anything along that line. The active listening, making sure you are listening, nodding, repeating back. We're going to go over those things as far as communications. The assertive person sets their boundary. That doesn't work for me. Go back and if you haven't seen it and watch the videos on the best ways to say no. Especially if it's hard setting boundaries for you and you're just new, that will really, the saying no video helps you say it in ways that are often easier to start and be more comfortable. So those are the 3 types of communication, and it's going to be important that you kind of recognize yours as we move into the next couple videos to identify the healthy communication styles, effective ones. I'm going to do a video on conflict resolution as well. Recognize where you fit in the problem, and you might be assertive going, Dawn, I've worked on this and I'm doing great, and good on you for that. I'm so glad. You're doing great. But stay tuned for the next episodes because there's communication styles and ways of phraseology and saying things of getting the responses we need and not offending other people. Love you guys. Like, share, subscribe. I so appreciate you. I don't know if I'm talking to the void most times, but for those of you who came, thank you. If you stayed to the end, God bless you. God bless you either way so much. Bye.